I'm lost in the way you move, the way you feel.
So we're here tonight as we do every month. We have an event at the Pure Med Spa, now at the brand new Aesthetic Institute. We're continuing to make it better every month, and we welcome you guys to learn more about what we're doing here. Each month we have a different topic that we review, different technologies and services we offer, and of course, as you attend the event, you have the opportunity to take advantage, if you want, some specials. Speaking of specials, you'll notice that we have around the event room these banners talking about the Passport program, Passport to Pure Confidence. We've been running the Passport program for a number of years, probably about almost a decade now, and we've continued to enhance it. And over this past year, we've added on additional services for our Passport members. So what is the Passport program? It's a monthly program where individuals can take advantage of a number of different services, including a free medical facial, which is normally $210. If you wanted to take advantage of that, come in and get a free medical facial. Get your skin looking great, healthy, glowing, reduce acne issues, reduce scars, reduce pigmentation, and really take advantage of that. And that is available to all Passport members for free every month, all through the year. In addition, if you wanted to take advantage of any med spa services, 10% off fillers and injectables and chemical peels, even all the laser treatments we have. Some individuals have taken advantage of that to the point where it's literally, they've saved more money on the savings than it's cost them for the Passport membership, because that can happen very quickly.
How much is a Passport?
The Passport membership is $99 a month, every month, for the rest of your life. That's right. And we also offer other services. Passport members, for example, get free access to things like weight management. And with the weight management program, we do things like semaglutide, which you guys might have heard of, like Ozempic. So anybody who's interested in weight management or enhancing their body's ability to manage sugar levels, we are welcoming you to do that, and we do that at no additional charge for our Passport members. You just pay for the pharmaceuticals that you might need. The microdermabrasion, you can get as many microdermabrasion treatments as you want as a Passport member at half off the regular price.
What's the regular price?
Regular price is $140, and so you can get that for $70 as many times as you want throughout the year. Unlimited. Unlimited use during your membership. It says so right there. Any other questions about the Passport that you guys Yeah?
I do have a question about the microdermabrasion.
Of course.
Recommendations, once a month?
I am going to talk about that this evening.
Okay.
So it's an excellent question. How often do people do microdermabrasion treatments? And when I get to that point, I'm going to talk about that and some other options. Let me tell you something else. The Passport membership program, our goal is to give all of our Passport members more value than they would ever come close to paying for through the membership. I hope we've demonstrated that through what we've shown here, but on this next slide, we made a little list of what we've done for our Passport members over the past 4 months alone. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? Impromptu. All right, so tonight, all of our VIPs receive a Bloomin Beauty gift bag and an entry into the raffle. We'll talk about what we get for the raffle winners. We do a raffle every time we have an event. And then our Passport members receive the same, plus they get a free microdermabrasion treatment. So they're going to get immediate extra value, and that they can use anytime they'd like through the rest of the year. Now, as I was saying, what have we done in addition for our Passport members, because it is a special program, and we really look forward to treating everybody who's a member as a special member. So over the past 4 months alone, we've given during our Christmas events, our holiday events, everybody who is a Passport member that was here at the event got a dermal sonic cleansing device, and it's a vibratory device that helps cleanse the pores and helps enhance penetration of serums and whatnot. $300 value was given as a gift. We, in January, gave a body sculpt treatment, which is a laser fat melting treatment to be utilized as desired. That's a retail price of $1,200. In February, we gave a deep cleaning dark chocolate facial to go along with our February events for Valentine's, and that was $190 value. And then March, we gave a lash or brow treatment. So Katie, where are you, Katie? There you are. Did a great job at last month's event where she demonstrated doing some brow treatments and lash treatments, and that's available. That was given as a gift, no charge. And then all of our Passport members also every quarter, so 4 times a year, get a free skincare product. And there was a product given this past quarter, which is up to $120 value. So every quarter you get access to, not just access, we give you a gift of a new skincare product. So if you were to look at this just over the past 4 months, if you were to add all that up in your head, who's got the calculator going? It adds up to over $1,970 in free gifts, almost $2,000 in value in 4 months, and your Passport membership's only $99 a month. So we look forward to having all of you as Passport members take advantage of each of these specials that we give and on a regular basis. Yes?
So if you do not use the monthly special value, you're missing out.
Yeah, it's a monthly thing, so you use it, or the next month you get another option to
It's
have.
only available for that month.
Correct, yeah. Each month there's a special.
And you have to schedule it within that month, or can you just schedule it that month?
It's for that month.
Okay.
So if you decide you want to do something at the end of the month and there's 1 day left and you didn't know about it for some reason, let us know. We'll figure it out for you. We want you to be happy. Our goal isn't to, not have you do things. We want you to do things. But at the same time, we can't accrue all this stuff for people or to be a real, I don't want to use the word S show. I keep it family friendly, right? All right, so what are we talking about tonight? That is my signal. You're going to hear a beep every once in a while, and that's your signal to take a break. That's right. Cheers. Bloomin' Beauty.
Cheer by cheers.
Mine's up every time.
I'm not sure how many times that's going to go off.
It doesn't matter.
Somebody must have grown up playing certain types of games. You hear a word.
Exactly. You hear a certain word, you drink.
Yeah. Somebody must have grown up with those games.
What should the word be? Limit? All right. So, and I always start this off and say, but as time passes, we don't want to say as you're getting older, God forbid. So as time passes, people notice typically more lines of wrinkles. If you've been out in the sun or you haven't taken care of your skin, God forbid, dull and uneven skin tone, age spots or blotches, typical little brown spots that happen. Your pores can become larger, irregular, more noticeable, and certainly you can have rough or dry skin that occurs. So typically we want to get rid of all this stuff, right? All right, so how can we attack that? Here, next slide. All right. Normally, what can contribute to this? Genetics play a role. Some people have a tendency to have dry skin. We certainly know people have autoimmune-related things, eczema, psoriasis. Lifestyle is probably the number one thing, right? So what about lifestyle? You're going to see environmental exposures, sun exposure. If you're up in the mountains, dry skin, more sun exposure, ultraviolet radiation. smoking can play a role, of course. Hopefully most people have, tried to stop that. If you are having a challenge with that, let us know. Maybe we can help you. Diet plays a role, stress. Medications can certainly play a role. Unfortunately, some people need to be on certain medications, okay? But prednisone, steroids, and other medications can certainly have negative impacts on your skin. Alcohol and disease. And I'm going to mention also just the fact that as we age, some of our hormones begin to drop. And we can have a really in-depth discussion about hormones, but as our testosterone and estrogen levels drop, we know there's changes in our skin, and so that can be attacked in certain ways also. Next. Rhytids, medical term for wrinkles. These are naturally occurring due to age and genetic factors. I will say that if you manage to stay out of the sun completely and you're not showing much in the way of facial expression, you might actually not have any lines or wrinkles, even at a more advanced age. But early wrinkling can occur due to more sun exposure and other effects such as oxidation, such as smoking. And they can become deeper and discolored without treatment. I always tell people, if you have a line or a wrinkle that's starting, you're going to see it for sure get deeper and longer. Okay, so once you see something, it's much better to work on it early on. It's easier to get rid of. You can enjoy the results of getting rid of it, rather than having something get deeper and deeper and longer, and then those become more challenging to get rid of. They can certainly still be treated, but it becomes more challenging. Next. Hyperpigmentation. So that's where we see these dark spots. Now, dark spots can occur in different ways. You can get a macule, which is basically a little freckle that occurs. And a lot of people say these are genetic. And certainly you see young individuals with a lot of freckles, and that is part of their genetic makeup of their skin. But then over time, as they're out in the sun, you'll see more and more of these showing up. And sometimes I'll see people that have a lot of what they call freckles, and what they actually have are lentigos. And these are quote-unquote age spots, but they're really from sun exposure. So we call them solar lentigos, and they can be combined with or look like freckles. Now, in some cases, especially in individuals who have hormonal changes, you have more of a risk of getting what's called the mask of pregnancy, or melasma. Now, melasma can happen even without pregnancy, but this is where you get almost a confluent change in your skin, where there's a darker area, typically on the central face, and it is impacted by hormonal changes. So that's something to be aware of. Now, all of these can be treated. They all can be treated. Next. Lentigos. Again, age spots, but solar lentigos are from the sun. And, I have some in my hands. It's very common actually to see them in sun-exposed areas. So one side of the face is more likely to get sun exposure if you're driving. The driver's side window is, in many cars, not UV protected. The windshield is, by the way. The windshield's UV protected, but the driver's side is not. So you may see more lines, wrinkles, and brown spots on one side of your face, or your hand if you had a hand out while you're driving. And that is really demonstrable in a lot of people. So brown spots, discolored spots, patches of skin get larger over time. These guys that I have on my hand used to be smaller. They've gotten a little bigger. Maybe one of the nurses will take care of me one of these days. I'm like the shoemaker. You know the story of the shoemaker? So the shoemaker works so hard to make shoes for everybody in the village that their own kids don't have shoes. So I'm like that. Cosmetic sun exposure evaluation is recommended if there's changes in color, border changes, things like that. Next. Dilated pores. As we have changes in our skin, one of the things that can happen, by the way, is rosacea. Rosacea is more blood flow through blood vessels. You see this ruddiness and whatnot, and that can be associated with increasing in pore size, and the pores themselves can get larger, especially if there's any debris in the pores. and so they can become impacted, and extractions recommended. And certainly anybody that has seen Dr. Pimple Popper knows that these things can come out in all different ways. But our nurses and our estheticians will be happy to help you with anything that is under the skin or in the skin that's creating cosmetic issues for you. Next, traditional treatments, over-the-counter creams, including things like retinoids, cryotherapy. So the cryotherapy that I'm talking about here is not getting into a cold booth, these cryotherapy things. I'm talking about skin cryotherapy. Hydroquinones, they can help lighten skin, and there's other lightening agents. You can use cleansers with additives like vitamin C and whatnot that can help, even in a potentially more of an astringent type way with exfoliating, and there's lots of different exfoliating agents. Sunscreens are going to help prevent these problems, and salicylic acid as well as other over-the-counter glycolics and whatnot can help reduce the appearance of some of these brown spots. Next. More advanced treatments, and I'm not going to go to sleep. More advanced treatments. Medical grade topicals are certainly something that we recommend, and we're going to show an example of one of the medical grade topicals that we had on special for this month and still available if you want to take advantage of it. Microdermabrasion, we're going to talk about this evening. Chemical peels, a variety of different types of chemical peels. We'll talk about one of our favorite ones. And the lunchtime laser peel. So who's heard of a lunchtime laser peel? Okay, we're going to talk about that tonight too. Next. Pharmaceutical grade topicals. Now there's a difference between over-the-counter topicals, creams, solutions, and whatnot, and pharmaceutical grade or medical grade. These medical grade topicals are regulated by the FDA in the same way that medications are. They're formulated and created in a safe, FDA-approved environment that is monitored, and so you can be assured that the type of product you're getting actually has the actual ingredients in the concentrations that they say, that the active ingredients are actually there, that they're free of contaminants, they don't have things like mercury or other things in them, and they're 99.99 whatever percent pure with no impurities or other additives. And probably most important, or equally as important, they need to be able to do what's claimed. So if we look at a lot of things that are available through consumer grade retail environments, they may make a claim about something, but then they'll have that disclaimer that says none of these statements have been approved by the FDA to be true or whatever, meaning that anything I say could be misleading. Say the opposite, right? Just tell me how you're saying it. So this is a situation where the medical grade products are able to do what they say they do when they're used the right way. Next slide. So this month, as we do every month, we have a product on special. And this month we had this wonderful age-defying serum. And we have our own brand, PureRx, as you guys know, I think. And this has vitamin C, vitamin E, and it really has made a difference for a lot of people in helping reduce wrinkles, lines, and even helping with reducing pigmentation. I think we have a little video. Sean put together something for you guys.
A new beginning. Our next revolution in skincare is here. New advanced anti-aging serum from PureRx. New fast, visible hair, new youth-generating power. Skin is radiant, hydrated, and plumped. In just 3 weeks, lines appear reduced. Now, skin feels firmer with just one bottle. Wake up every day to your most beautiful skin. New advanced anti-aging serum only from PureRx.
Thanks, Sean, for doing that. Should we give props to the narrator?
100% we should.
Okay, so the lady's voice is not AI generated. That's a real person. It's actually Sean's wife. Thank you, Sean's wife. All right, next. So we're going to be doing, as we typically do, not every time, but typically we'll do a demo. And what I'm going to do is invite Marcy to come up. She's volunteered to do a demo. All of our passport members have the opportunity to participate in the demo. We'll cut your skin while I'm chatting a little bit about this treatment, and then we'll do the treatment. And you can let us know how you feel afterwards, okay? All right. So Sonia, you're welcome to, yeah. What we're doing, by the way, is a diamond microdermabrasion treatment for Marcy. And what do they say? Diamonds are a
Girl's best friend.
Thank you. All right.
There forever.
Everybody knows that. You have a diamond offense.
Oh, there he
Diamond
is.
offense would be fun to do. I just, all right, so next slide.
Told you took a nap.
I think you just hit the right arrow key.
See, it's still 9.
She left you there alone. Driving the car without a license. All right. So microdermabrasion. What is microdermabrasion? It's important to understand there's two parts to this word, micro and dermabrasion. So real quick, dermabrasion is a medical treatment, not a medical spa treatment. So dermabrasion is an old-fashioned resurfacing treatment. There's a big difference between dermabrasion and microdermabrasion. Dermabrasion is not something that is commonly performed anymore. Dermabrasion is a treatment where basically a rotating burr was used to sand down the skin. And this was done for decades prior to the advancement of good skin care with lasers and other options. This is not dermabrasion. Microdermabrasion is a more surface layer treatment, and people can have these treatments and have essentially no downtime, or it can be done a little bit more aggressively, and there can be some discoloration that takes some time to heal. Microdermabrasion, the side effects, meaning redness, peeling, whatever, even potentially bruising, is all dependent on how aggressive the treatment is performed. Basically, the more superficial microdermabrasion treatments gently exfoliate the outer layer of the skin. This helps to cleanse the skin, it helps get rid of any debris on the skin, and simultaneously, while the exfoliation is being done, there's negative pressure or suction being applied. It actually helps pull any debris out of the pores and around the follicles. This can stimulate collagen production because you're micro-traumatizing the skin, which creates a healing situation for the skin. If the treatments are done consecutively in a short period of time, and maybe in some cases a little more aggressively, we've seen dramatic changes in the appearance of scars and even pigmentation. There are two types of microdermabrasion. There's a crystal microdermabrasion, which has basically aluminum oxide crystal or other cerumen that goes ahead and is being pushed out against the skin. Think about it, if I were to use an example of sandblasting something, there's a particulate matter that impacts the skin and acts as the exfoliating agent along with the suction that's happening. The diamond microdermabrasion is what we're using now. We used to use the crystal, but I will tell you, in many cases it could leave a mess and you get a little bit of crystal all in your hair and you can't just go back to your normal lifestyle right away. You might have to clean up. So we, over time, have preferred the diamond microdermabrasion. It works. They work equally well, but it's, I think, a little bit more user-friendly with the diamond microdermabrasion. You're welcome to do that. You're going to make a lot of noise? I can't hear it. So Sonia just cleansed Marcy's skin, and what she's going to do is a adjust the setting on the device to do a light microdermabrasion. Next slide. You want to turn way up? Turn it up all the way. All right, so as you can see what's happening right now with Marcy, there's a diamond tipped wand, and Sonia adjusted the amount of negative pressure. And you can maybe hear that from where you are as she's lifting the wand away from the skin. There's that little suction being broken, but it's pulling the skin up into the device as the abrasion is occurring. The diamond tipped actually comes in different grades of coarseness. So we can have a very fine coarseness or more gritty coarseness, just like sandpaper would. And so you can be more or less aggressive with the tip itself as well as the suction, the number of passes, the pressure applied. Very technique dependent. And Sonia's been doing these treatments for how many years?
16 years.
16. She doesn't even look 16. What can I say?
2007.
All right. Props to Lisa.
Yes.
All right. Treatment takes about 30 minutes. It's done in combination with facial, and then this could be combined with other things. This type of treatment is great year-round. Okay, so a lot of times people will say you shouldn't have certain types of treatments in the summertime or whatnot because you're more likely to have side effects if you're exposed to the sun. And if you're an outdoors person, that's 100% true. But microdermabrasion can absolutely do year-round. So that's important to know. It can help penetration of any other products that may be used, and it can be again used in combination with other treatments we do here. Next slide. Liz? Okay, so I'm going to pause. We have a little slide that says Q&A, which means it's time for you guys to ask me questions, and I'll listen to you. Anybody?
In combination with your peel?
All right, so Marcy asked if you can do microdermabrasion in combination with a peel. We're going to be talking about a peel, a specific type of peel in just a minute. So there are different types of peels available, and the answer is yes, but it shouldn't probably be used, at least not in aggressive format, with a more aggressive peel. The combination of that may be a little too much for some people. There are exceptions. If someone's skin is very tolerant to that, we can individually customize the treatment and combine those treatments. It can also be used with other light-based therapies. So we have something called IPL, intense pulse light, also known as broadband light, and it's great to use before those types of treatments. You get rid of that top layer of dead skin cells, and then the light energy can penetrate and not have the side effect of that. Your skin's looking lovely.
There's a question.
Yes.
Is IPL part of the 10% med spa services?
Is IPL part of the 10% off med spa services? You'll be happy to know that every single med spa service we offer is a part of the Passport program 10%. Every single med spa treatment.
So if you had this as the monthly special, the free microdermabrasion, then you come in between your regular treatments and possibly try a different treatment with the free.
Correct. So you could take your free treatment, you could combine it with something else, you could take 10% off of that treatment and get a lot of bang for your buck. And your buck might be your time here, right? Because time is money. So you get a lot of value. We love to give you guys more value. Yes.
Two questions. How often should you go to microdermabrasion? And is there a list of all the services with pricing that you have?
Okay, so two questions. How often should you get microdermabrasion? It's going to depend on the patient, what their goals are. We typically do a 3 or 4 week interval between microdermabrasions. That being said, I've had some patients where I've done weekly treatments where I've been really aggressive, trying to go after a scar or something else. And just as soon as they've healed from the prior one, I've brought them back and we've done it again. So there are, again, it's customized. A typical patient might do a monthly treatment. As far as, is there a list of all the services we offer? There is a list of most of the services we offer. It seems like we add something to the list every month. So we do have a list. We have a brochure that has all the treatments options.
With pricing.
And the pricing is going to be adjusted with what you end up doing. So a lot of times, things like microdermabrasion, you'll see that there's an individual price. But I'll tell you something, nobody buys an individual treatment typically. They're going to buy a package. So then you get package pricing. If you're going to combine it with something else, you're going to get another number, which is even better. So what you'd want to do is if you're interested in something, ask our estheticians, our nurses, myself, for what a custom price would be for you. And I think they'd be very happy with that. Okay. Yes?
Dr. Simmons, is there a period certain, did you discuss contract? Is it for a period of time?
The Passport program?
Right.
The Passport program is a month-by-month program. You could cancel at any time, but there's benefits to staying on the program. If you stay on the program for 12 months, you get a free laser treatment worth up to $1,200. So the entire value of what you paid for your membership for the year is given back to you as a free laser treatment, in addition to all the other discounts and free stuff you get. If somebody were to decide they wanted to cancel and then come back, there's a 6-month waiting period before they can come back on the program.
Okay.
But there's no contract per se. Yes.
I have really bad rosacea. What treatment would be the best for rosacea? Really
What
bad?
treatment would be the best for rosacea? We would do light-based therapies. We have lasers and IPL to help eliminate rosacea. You can minimize the appearance of rosacea with creams, whether they're over-the-counter creams, antioxidants, medications, topical medications, oral medications, but none of those things will get rid of rosacea. The only thing that will actually get rid of rosacea is light-based treatments, light-based being IPL and laser treatments.
Okay.
Marcy, how are you doing there?
Doing great.
How's that feel?
That's great.
Now, feel it with the back of your hand, just your skin. Does it feel smoother?
Feel like all the little hairs are going.
All the little hairs are going on.
Standing them all.
And so her skin is cleaner, the pores have been pulled, any debris pulled out, anything around the follicles have been extracted. That's one of the reasons it's actually really helpful for people who have a little bit of folliculitis, which is a little mild infection that can occur around hair follicles. It can pull out the debris, it can help allow penetration of medical grade components that can be infused in the skin and help eliminate acne also. But scar reduction, pigment reduction, wrinkle reduction, and just overall cleaner skin. So good job. That was easy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what is the downside to IPL? What are the risks or?
What's the time of IPL?
No, not downside. What are the negative effects of that?
Contraindications.
The contraindications, negative, or the risks with IPL, intense pulse light. Intense pulse light is light-based therapy, and if you have a darker skin type, it may not be the right thing for that type of individual. Things can be customized. We have had people on hydroquinone therapy that can protect your skin, but typically we would look at other options. The IPL...
So you don't really recommend it for darker skin tones?
No, it's not the optimal treatment for dark
So
skin.
when you say darker, his dark or my dark? You mean both of us?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a substitute, I think that.
There are substitutes. We have lots of
So
options.
you would not recommend IPL for him or for me?
Not typically. There may be exceptions for
But
that.
that's so IPL is microdermabrasion?
No, so I was just going to ask you why you're asking about IPL. So tonight we're not talking about
Because you
IPL.
said IPL.
It came up as a question.
That's what I want to know what IPL was, and that's why I asked.
Yeah, so IPL is intense pulse light, but it's not a part of tonight's presentation.
Okay, thank you. I just thought it was one of the same.
No.
I'm new
Yeah, and
here.
I
I'm
apologize
learning.
for...
Okay.
I apologize if I got you confused.
You did, that's why.
Mine's on me.
No, I feel for you.
So nothing...
I can get the microdermabrasion.
Yes.
Yes.
So any skin type is compatible with microdermabrasion.
Okay. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
You're very welcome. Yes.
Then who cannot get microdermabrasion?
Who cannot get microdermabrasion?
Good question, Sonia.
I personally have seen people that have very thin skin and are on steroids potentially having issues with microdermabrasion, but even those patients, I've been able to do microdermabrasion without the suction on and get an exfoliation and get benefit. So in general, I would tell you anybody, regardless of their condition, can get microdermabrasion. If you have an active infection, you know, you might be told that microdermabrasion is something you shouldn't be doing, but we still can treat people with a little folliculitis or acne, and we can work around that. Or sometimes we might do a little extraction with it and get rid of the infection and work with that. What have you seen in your experience?
Yeah, I'll definitely say very dry, sensitive, thin skin, just because of the suction can actually even make it worse. Actually, our alternative would be dermaplaning, just to confuse you more.
So what Sonia was saying is if somebody has very thin and dry skin, it may not be optimal. But I would just turn the suction down or maybe even off if you need to, combine it with other treatments. I will tell you my own personal experience. When we first started doing microdermabrasion, we were using it for everybody. I had a gentleman come in who had extremely thin skin. We did microdermabrasion on him, and he looked pretty bruised up for a week or two. That is not something we see anymore. That was an experience that happened in early 2000s. And so when you come to a place like this, where we've been doing treatments like this for several decades, you get the benefit of every single patient that's come before you. All right, any other questions? Next question, or next slide. Chemical peels. All right, so we're moving on to the next topic. A unique way which is formulated, designed to lift pigment out. So rather than using the abrasion, which can kind of abrade away the pigment, the chemical peels are designed to more lift the pigment out, remove sun damage, alleviate acne, even out skin tone, reduce scarring, minimize fine lines, get rid of wrinkles, and clarify the skin. There are different types of chemical peels. You can buy a chemical peel over the counter, some glycolics, and that is technically a chemical peel. And if you've not been exposed to that agent before, you may peel with it. Same thing with retinoids. If you apply these chemicals to your skin and you've never seen that, your skin's naive to it, you will probably peel a little bit. I will tell you that peeling, although that occurs with these different agents, is a side effect, and what you're really trying to do with a quote-unquote peel is get these results. Okay, remember that, because we call it a peel because of what happens when we apply it to the skin typically. However, if somebody has skin that's more resistant to the side effect of peeling and you put the product on their skin, they're still getting the benefit of the product. They don't have to peel to get the deeper effects. Does that make sense? Okay, so your perfect peel, trademark that, I think somebody has it, is a peel that doesn't peel.
But it gets results.
But gets results.
Everyone thinks pain is gain. Perfect pill would be no pain, all gain.
Correct. It's just like if I had a way to make someone lose weight or get tighter skin or do whatever, and I could just tap them on the head and they got it, then that would be the optimal treatment. You wouldn't want any of the other stuff. Right? So we call it a peel because of the side effects of what's happening with the peeling. Next, with the chemical. So how do they work? All right, so we clean and degrease the skin. If the skin's not clean, if it has debris on it or if it has oil on it, it'll prevent the penetration of the chemical into the skin, or it could be maybe splotchy penetration. You want a nice even effect. After the skin is cleansed and degreased, we apply the solution, and that will cause a change in the pH of the skin depending on the agent that's used. You can have some quote-unquote immediate effects within 24 hours, depending on how aggressive the treatment is, and your experience with the peels previously, and what you may have done prior, like microdermabrasion. After you activate the healing process inside your skin, you get a little bit of collagen stimulation, the old skin cells exfoliate off, and vibrant, healthy skin emerges. Typically, just like with microdermabrasion, you would do this over a period of time with a series of treatments. It's usually not a one and done thing. Now, there are peels that have been out for decades and are known as one and done type of things. They're very aggressive. Those types of very aggressive peels are not things that we usually recommend, and we certainly don't do them here. They have been supplanted by laser treatments. We can get better, safer, more predictable results with laser resurfacing. Again, that's not a part of tonight's discussion. I'm happy to answer questions about it, though, yes.
Is that like the blue peel?
Blue peel. Okay, so the blue peel is a TCA, trichloroacetic acid peel, that is designed to do all of these things. And it's very popular, and there's a color change that occurs when the peel's applied that tells you when you're at a point where you should deactivate the peeling process so it doesn't go too deep and have a higher risk of side effects. So it's a nice peel. It's in that it's friendly for the nurse or the esthetician to apply because it gives you an indication of when to stop the peel. It certainly provides beneficial effects to patients, but I will say that we have found over time there's better solutions than the blue peel. So we've that's been around for quite a while, and there's nothing wrong with it.
It doesn't have a lot of side effects.
It can have a lot of side effects. So again, like any other treatments, the blue peel or a laser or this or that is not just dependent on the treatment, but how the treatment's applied. It's like driving a car. I can drive a car slowly or I can drive a car fast. It's not the car, it's the driver. When you're talking about these peels, in some cases it could be the technician, the nurse, the esthetician, the doctor, whoever's doing the treatment is going to depend on what they do for the individual patient or client. Yes?
So, how do I word this? I would think that most peels are going to attack the things that are all caused mostly by sun, right? It all has a lot to do with sun damage and the environment and things of that nature. Do you think it's more beneficial to have a peel in the fall as opposed to the spring where we're getting ready to go out and the ones that sit by the pool and we're out doing activities and we're gardening and things of that nature versus in the fall, I might pick a pumpkin and my butt's inside. So, like, is it more beneficial to get a peel in, let's say, the fall than it is the spring before we're gearing up for sun season?
Right, so you might have read my slides.
I did.
Did you get to my slide? All right, next slide. I'm going to answer your question in a minute. There's different types of peels, phenol peel, TCA peel. The phenol peel is an older type of peel, and it was very aggressive. We actually used to put patients in the hospital and monitor them because as it penetrated into the skin, it could get into your bloodstream, and it could even change it could create cardiac conditions. So these aren't things we typically do a lot of. There might be some doctors and other practitioners around that do a light phenol peel, which is fine. But when you're getting into the deeper stuff, it can actually be unsafe or it require medical monitoring. Glycolic, probably the most common type of peel is glycolic acid, citrus-based acids. So you get, and then salicylic acid, the next most common. You may hear aha baha. Aha baha is a combination of glycolic and salicylic. Nothing wrong with these. If you get into higher grades or percentages of these glycolics, they will sensitize you to sun exposure for sure. And we have seen people go online, go on Amazon, wherever, and buy 70%, 50% glycolic peels and use them on themselves, thinking that a higher percentage is going to give them a better result. So let me talk to you about that for a moment. There is a point of diminishing returns on any treatment, whether it's a laser where we're activating collagen stimulation through heat, or we're doing microneedling and we're doing multiple penetrations mechanically to stimulate collagen production, or we're using a chemical peel to do whatever our goals are. People tend to think, give me more and I'll get the results I want faster. This is not driving a car, okay? You can't put the pedal to the metal and get there faster in some cases. There's a point of diminishing returns. How you doing?
Oh, hello.
You're late, but you're welcome. I like your
Thank you.
Yeah, good, right? It's clear.
Thank you. I was just telling my car guy on Veterans.
Oh, no. Right here?
Yeah, so I called, but nobody came to pick me up.
See, I was going to say, let us know when you're done. We'll have to have the Uber service ready for everybody. Let's talk a little bit about this percentage thing, because people tend to have the wrong perception of what can be done. Let's say a 10% peel makes a difference, and a 20% peel makes twice the difference. 30% peel, does that make 3 times the difference of a 10%? 40% peel, does it make 4 times the difference of a 10%? The answer is no, because you're going to peak out at what the effect can be. Anything beyond that is typically going to be increasing your risks, your side effects, and your downtime. So you really don't want to self-impose a high percentage of glycolic, because you will absolutely sensitize yourself to future sun exposure, and you can harm your skin. And we've actually seen that happen. So I caution people to be careful about this. And if you have any desire to do these things at home, think twice about it. Yes.
I did.
You did?
I ordered glycolic acid from online.
Yeah.
20% or maybe 50%. And I just had this vision that I was going to do it myself. I put that stuff on my face. It was on fire. And I couldn't figure out how to neutralize it. Yeah. So anyway, while it's burning, I figured out how to neutralize it. But yeah, I still have that bottle of glycolic acid.
And you might just want to throw that away.
Yeah, never use it again.
So, straight from the babe's mouth.
Yeah, the idiot smile.
And that's it. Don't do that to yourself. There's so many options. We have lactic acid, retinoids, mandelic, and resorcinol. And it's not just the product, it's how it's applied. It's not just how it's applied, it's what it's applied with, it's how it's activated, deactivated, and what. Yes, do the question. No, okay. Next. So all of these are good ingredients. What we have been very fond of is something called a VI peel. And I think there's a box around here somewhere. So Vitality peel. This is actually a combination of ingredients. 10% or more TCA, and when I say or more, it's based on your skin type, condition, your results desired. Phenol, 10%, salicylic, 10% or more, vitamin C, and tretinoin. And there's additional retinoic that's used after the application of peel. This is safe for all skin types, and people do peel with this. They do have that side effect of peeling, and depending on their skin condition, we can adjust how much peeling or how aggressive the treatment is. Next. So this is a good example of someone who has a little bit of inflammatory acne going on. They have some comedones, they've got some congestion, they've got some blackheads. So after they've gotten extracted and they've had the peel placed, and they go through the peeling process, the skin is cleaned up very nicely, and they have a much, much nicer looking skin complexion.
Is that for one peel?
This is usually a couple of peels, but it could happen as little as one. Okay, it depends on the patient. You're not going to get rid of scars with one peel, though. Okay, that's always going to be a series of treatments, and deeper scars are going to require more than just a peel. Okay, so I look at resolution of inflammatory acne, and next slide. improvement of fine lines with a series of peels that can be done, okay? Now, when someone comes in with crepey skin, I may or may not, depending on the condition of their skin, their desires, and how much of their skin's involved, recommend lasers versus a peel, and that's always a conversation to be had. Lasers can potentially give you more results, but there may or may not be more downtime. We're going to talk about a different type of laser in there. Next. And then peels are really phenomenal in many cases of helping get rid of dyschromia, hyperpigmentation, and we use a lot of the peels for this particular concern where it can just give a better clarity to the skin. Peels can be used on any part of the body. This is showing someone's back shoulder area. And you don't just, a lot of the treatments people are like, can you use it on other parts of the body? The answer is yes, with pretty much every treatment we offer, whether it's a peel, microdermabrasion, laser treatment, IPL, they can all be used wherever you have skin, right? Now, the treatment protocol may need to be adjusted based on the thickness of the skin or the body area that is being treated, but the answer is still yes. Okay. Welcome. Glad you committed. Next. Series of, this is going to answer your question. Series of 4 more treatments are typically done with the peels. So like I was saying before, we usually sell them as a package. They are available as one-offs. They're best when performed about a month apart. Sometimes we'll bring them closer together depending on how aggressive we want to be. And they're safe for all skin types. Okay? Absolutely. They're fantastic, the word, at removing brown spots after summer sun exposure. It's not summer's sun exposure, summer sun. So they're great in the later summertime, in the autumn, in the winter, when you're getting rid of the stuff that you might have incurred from being out in the environment. That being said, they could be used any time of the year. They're not exclusively regulated to those seasons. Some people don't get a lot of sun exposure, fine, But I don't want you to use a peel if you're going to be outside and on a boat and going water skiing or playing tennis or golf the next month. I think that is probably not a good plan. You can, even when you're wearing sunscreen and have a hat on, you're still going to get sun exposure. I don't care how much you try to stay out of the sun. If you're outside, you're going to get some sun exposure. And it really doesn't take a lot of ultraviolet radiation to stimulate that pigment production. And if you've been hypersensitized because you've had a treatment, it's probably not a good time to do it. Make sense?
Yes.
Answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have questions about this?
So a VI peel would best be done with a 4-treatment package.
Yes. We typically would recommend that people buy a package of treatments and do them month by month by month. Now, if you did maybe a couple in the late winter and then picked them up again in the late summer, or if you said, hey, I just want to take a little break and then just pick them up again, I'm not going to be outside, fine, great, go for it. So it's very patient dependent. Sonia, what are you finding your patients are typically doing with the timing of their treatment for peels?
Usually like 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks between treatments?
Between the treatments, yeah.
And are you finding that there's less of them being done in the summertime?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So.
And we were talking about microdermabrasion before. Are you finding that patients are still doing microdermabrasion during the summertime?
It's a summer-friendly procedure, yeah.
Summer.
It pretty much ends when summer seasons, not Dr. Summer specialty.
That was a good one.
That was good. Any other questions or thoughts? Okay, next slide. Next slide is about this lunchtime laser peel. Again, has anybody heard of this? No? Okay, great. So lunchtime laser peel. Most of the lasers that we do for skin resurfacing incur some downtime. Now, and I'll use the analogy like driving a car. You can drive a car slowly or you can drive it fast. I don't care if it's a VW Bug or a Ferrari. You can drive it slow or you can drive it fast. So depending, on the technology, it may have more power available. but it doesn't mean that you have to use all the power. That being said, most of the lasers that we do resurfacing with and stimulating new collagen production, removing brown spots, are more aggressive and they do incur a little bit of downtime. So we have an option for a lunchtime laser peel. And this lunchtime laser peel has two things going for it. First of all, how does it work? It vaporizes in superficial skin cells and it happens instantly. So you don't have to wait like you do with a chemical peel to see changes occur. It also can tighten fine lines instantly, right? And you reveal healthy, radiant skin. Say it with me. Instantly. I wanted to rename this the Instant Peel. Instant Laser Peel. Sean said that. Instant results. It's done in 30 minutes. So that's what, and it can be done during your lunchtime. And there's no downtime.
Wow.
Now, it's not as aggressive as the other lasers, and I will tell you it's not as aggressive as a VI peel. Okay, the VI peel and some of the other peels that are available are going to go deeper. They're going to have the side effects, as we were talking about, where you are peeling and you might not look good because you're peeling for a couple days. This is something a person could do and go out to dinner that night and look radiant as they're out and about. Sound good?
Now this is the,
We'll give them both.
So downtime, I keep hearing this downtime,
Yeah.
downtime. What are we talking about, downtime as far as?
So downtime,
Period.
right. So with microdermabrasion, there's no downtime. Unless we do an aggressive treatment, someone gets bruised. But typically we would tell them that would be part of the plan. So a typical microdermabrasion, no downtime. Typical lunchtime laser peel, no downtime. When you get to the VI peel, the downtime that someone might incur, depending on their skin sensitivity, would be a couple of days of peeling, redness and whatnot. And if you're peeling a lot, some people would say, Dick, I don't want to look at you, right? But that goes away very fast.
We're talking about 2-3 days, 3-5 days.
Well, that depends on the person. Yeah,
Right.
so
Typically what?
the answer is yes. It depends. Sonia's telling you, it could be up to 5 days.
I need to know because I can't tell you. I mean, I just don't know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna backtrack real quick.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna backtrack real quick and answer your question in a little more detail about how we figure this out for people. If an individual's never had a VI peel before, they're definitely, in quotes, going to be more likely to have peeling effects. If you've had several of them and you've exfoliated already and your skin is not, it's not virgin to the peel, you're less likely to have those side effects. But let's say individuals never had this peel before and they want to minimize their downtime. What I typically would recommend is do your treatment on a Thursday, maybe a Thursday afternoon. Usually on Friday, there's not a lot of peeling happening yet, but by the next day, you start to see the peeling. Yes? Is that what you're finding?
About 48 hours.
Yeah, about 48 hours. So if we do a light treatment, you would start to see your peeling around that time. You'd have another day or so to see the effects. And hopefully by Monday, Tuesday, most of that would have resolved, especially if we did a lighter peel on you to start with. Now, that being said, once you know how your skin reacts, you can decide how aggressive you want to be with that. These things are customizable in some fashions. Okay? You can do certain things to adjust.
I had a chemical peel one time and I had no scarring, I had no.
So you had a chemical peel once and there was no downtime. You very likely had a white glycolic.
It was probably like, it was a glycolic.
It was a glycolic.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
like.
So that's usually what we'll hear about with glycolics. They're very, easy on the skin, especially at the lower concentrations. We've talked about the higher concentrations before where you can get into trouble. Okay.
So the lunchtime laser peel, if you started with that and did that several times and then you went to a heavier, would that minimize the peeling effect?
You won't do it from day one.
No, I'm saying if you went from a lunchtime laser peel to a more
heavier one, more expensive one, would this prepare you to receive those?
The answer is potentially yes. And
But everybody's different.
everybody's
Pretty
different.
much it's prepped.
So with the lunchtime peel, this is going to be more superficial, and some of the chemical peels are going to go deep. Okay, but if you're getting rid of a lot of those dead skin cells on the surface, then you're going to have less peeling subsequently, potentially, with the chemical peels. So they can be mixed and matched. It's going to depend on the individual. Some people have, as Sonia was saying, drier skin. We might even want to do some other exfoliation, but the lunchtime laser peel is pretty cool. We're going to show you a demo of that on the screen here in just a second. Next slide.
I think she had a question. Did you?
Oh, I apologize.
I kind of, the lunchtime laser is kind of superficial, meaning, so like I'm assuming it's not really going to do too much with sunspots. It's not going to do too much with like deep wrinkles per se. It's just going to be more of like an incredibly intense, maybe like a microdermabrasion almost, just on steroids a little bit. It's a little step
That's
up.
what I said earlier.
Yeah, so the question is, how intense is it? What can it do? It can help with pigmentation if it's superficial pigmentation. So that pigmentation can exist in different layers of the skin.
Okay.
All right, so we actually use this particular laser to get rid of some tattoos also. So this type of energy can be used to destroy pigment that's in the skin that without injuring the skin.
Okay.
Okay, so there's interesting effects that can occur with this type of energy. When we combine it, as you'll see here in a minute, with or the way we do it, I don't want to ruin the surprise. Got a good surprise somewhere. Then you'll see that it can help the surface of the skin also. Promotes collagen production, and as I said, there's no downtime, and it's great to refresh your skin early in the spring, right? So it might, if you did a bunch of these close together, you had any type of energy that can create inflammation, you can sensitize your skin again. So if you are going to be outside in the summer, this may not be a summertime treatment, and I certainly wouldn't want to do it on someone who is actively tan. We want to try to stay away from that. We don't want to stimulate hyperpigmentation, but it can be used to get rid of hyperpigmentation also. Next slide. Oh, here's a surprise. So this person didn't come in here looking this way. Sonia put this on the patient, and this is a charcoal mixture that she painted her face with after she cleansed them, and this helps attract the laser energy into the surface. Now, the charcoal will go into the pores and down the follicular shaft, so wherever this charcoal is going to attract the laser energy, and you'll get the energy deposition where the charcoal is. So you'll get it on the surface of the skin, and you can also get some penetration deeper. All right, go ahead and play this for me, Sean. Now, what's really cool is you see this disappear as the treatment is occurring.
Right.
So it's really awesome. You can actually see exactly where the energy is being delivered, and you'll notice that this is, as this is going on, it's actually vaporizing the surface layer. But it's not creating a tremendous inflammatory component, so you actually can, again, have the treatment without the peeling and look good the same day.
Nobody's screaming.
No one's screaming.
And then may heat up a little the skin, but it's pretty comfortable.
And that level of fine energy application is getting done in 30 minutes. Like they're moving like 2 or
Yep.
3 centimeters.
So it's the size of the pulse
Yeah.
it's a circle, and we overlap a little bit, go back and forth a couple times, and it is done in about 30 minutes. The treatment is done in about 30 minutes. Now, between the cleansing the skin, the application of the charcoal mask, and before the laser's done, it takes some time, but the treatment of the laser over the skin is about 30 minutes.
And you don't recommend it on the neck?
You can use it on the neck.
You can.
Absolutely. And you can use it on the hands. So, any other questions about that? People are looking at their hands. Next slide. All right, so some examples of just helping to clarify the skin and looking good right away afterwards. You can do a peel, lunchtime laser peel, and you can get rid of some of the superficial damage, and you can just look good very quickly. Okay, without doing a lot of sensitization, without having the downtime. But it does not give you as much of the deeper effects. So you can see we've talked about different things, they do different things, and they're good at different times of the year, right? Next. If you had more, you got a frozen computer? Let me put my face in front of it. Okay, so if you have more sallow skin, more lines and wrinkles, more pigmentation, you can do a series of these treatments. You could combine with other things. So this gentleman has some telangiectasias around his nose. Those were not gotten rid of by this laser, so but it can help to really clarify and rejuvenate the skin with a series of treatments. Next. All right, so fun part. Tonight's VIPs receive a Bloomin Beauty gift bag and raffle entry. So we're going to give a gift bag to all of our people. So you want to do that real quick? Yeah. Let's give a gift bag. Everybody want a gift bag?
Yes.
The other thing is passport members. Who's a passport member? You're not a passport member yet? All right, you're missing out. You get, so the passport member's going to raffle entry and a free microdermabrasion treatment. All right. So.
Do we have to use that index?
No. So that's not a requirement, but I would like you to take advantage of it sometime this year. Okay. Because I don't want to track it into next year when we give you another one. Maybe. Could happen. Are we going to do the raffle first or second?
That's up to you, boss.
So what we're going to do is all the passport members got automatically entered into the raffle. If you're also did the VIP entry, you got automatically entered into the raffle. We have some specials. Let's talk about those real quick. Our regular price for microdermabrasion is $140 per treatment, so 4 of them would be $560. Tonight, if you wanted to buy a little package of microdermabrasion, you get it for $475. VI peels for treatments would be $1380. Tonight, you get it for $1150. Lunchtime laser peel, regular price $850 per treatment. Regular price $3,400 for treatments. Tonight, $2890 is a deal. And then you get into these bundles where it's actually, so this price would be a combination of the laser peel and the microderm, but we reduce it even more if you wanted to buy a package, and then you can buy all of them. Why would you want to buy all of them? Well, you've got springtime, summertime, and autumn treatments that you can do to keep your skin looking great all year round with these options. And again, you can mix and match and you can combine it with other things as we were talking about in the future. Now, those of you who are passport members, you are not going to pay this price. Why? Because as what we're doing now, every single time we have an event, is we're doing something extra special for our passport members. So Sean has put together special pricing and microdermabrasion. If you wanted to do 4 treatments, $280. And by the way, I do want to say you can buy these as a passport member and gift them to somebody else. It is available for you to give as a gift to somebody else if you wanted to. VI peels, treat yourself to healthy looking skin and get your skin rejuvenated. Instead of $1380, it's only $799 for the passport members. Lunchtime laser peel, instead of $3,400, only $2,199. And then we get into our combinations where you can, again, have your skin looking great all year round, which is what we want for you, which is why we give you a free medical facial every month as a passport member. You can also do your laser peel, microdermabrasion, and potentially include your your lunchtime laser peel and the microdermabrasion with the VI peel for this extra special price.